Russia's prime minister says Moscow might break diplomatic relations with Ukraine over the latest conflict between those two. Here in the United States, Obama administration officials are keeping a wary eye on a tense situation. Correspondent Kevin Corke is traveling with the president, and he reports tonight from Martha's Vineyard.
Predictable, purely political, and potentially catastrophic. That's how some experts are describing Russia's latest move into Ukraine. Moscow announcing the deployment of air defense missiles to the illegally annexed region of Crimea and planned military exercises for next week designed, they say, to simulate an attack by weapons of mass destruction.
I think that it's obvious for everybody that the current authorities in Kiev are not looking for a way to solve problems through talks, but are turning to terror. This is a very alarming thing.
Putin says his decisions are merely countermeasures against Ukraine, which he accused of sending saboteurs into Crimea to carry out terrorist acts against the Kremlin. But experts accuse Moscow of playing risky political games, saber-rattling at a time when his countrymen are questioning the human cost of the conflict with Ukraine, where more than 9,500 people have been killed since fighting began 2 years ago.
His party's up for election, and some of this is subterfuge to be sure, but he wants a very decisive victory. He wants to be seen that he is in control.
Difficult relationship that we have with Russia right now. But it's not going to stop us from still trying to pursue solutions.
The unrest is just the latest political headache for the Obama administration involving Russia, which has sought closer ties with the Kremlin in the fight against ISIS in Syria, for example, but has maintained economic sanctions against Russia for a host of disruptive behaviors around the globe.
There is a need to have a relationship with Russia and to work with Russia on a range of other issues, including the conflict in Syria. So figuring out how do you balance that need to engage Russia with the need to deter Russia in this particular case is a tricky balancing act.
Doug, Vice President Joe Biden today spoke with Ukrainian President Poroshenko, and he asked him to do what he could to avoid escalating tensions with Moscow. Now, that news, I should point out, comes on a day when we learned that the chief of staff for President Vladimir Putin, Sergei Ivanov, was fired from his job. Doug?
Kevin Corke traveling with the president in Martha's Vineyard tonight. Thank you, Kevin.